23 streams. Over 80 hours and 2 months later are we here at the final stream. Let me see if I can get some. Yeah, this works. Yeah, this will work for background music. It is June 2nd, 2026. We are talking roughly 30 minutes past 7 p.m. A very good evening. We are good evening, perhaps good afternoon, perhaps good morning. The final Starforce stream. One way or another, it ends today. We have 2 more Geiger cards to go, and all they require is quite a bit of grinding. Hopefully not, but we probably do, because one of them is locked behind 500 different battles. And that's what today's focus is going to be. As the smooth dulce tones of Amarot glide us into today. So too does this sound glide us into the Starforce Legacy Collection. We've already begun the next game, at least one of the next games, which is obviously Infra, which we've streamed on Sunday, for which I do humbly apologize, because it turns out that after listening back to it on YouTube, the audio is 3 million ways of messed up. I don't know how or why that happened. So if there is something wrong with my audio today, please let me know, because I can barely hear myself in the VOD. Same goes with the game music today. Like, please, for the love of God, if something goes wrong, let me know. When it comes to audio. Last thing I want is a repeat of Sunday where I cannot even hear myself. Oh well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this party started. For one final time, let's take a quick look at the awards yet to have. So 37 left to go. All we have is Geiger Collector, Omega Treasure, and Noise Collector. 2 of these we will hopefully get one way or another. For Omega Treasure, it kinda depends on stuff. I have some ideas on how to do that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Once again, let me know if my audio is bad. Please tell me. So you might be wondering, why do we have a special stream for what is only 2 cards? Good question! Hi Alcateza, how are you doing? Welcome to the final Starforce stream. We have 2 more cards left to go. One of them, however, if I'm allowed to jump in here, requires something truly horrendous, truly evil, truly something that only the deranged would force you to do. Which is 500 battles. And, you know, it could be better, could be worse. I kind of need to finish the game today, because I won't be able to stream until Sunday. Because there's gonna be lightning storms for just about the rest of the entire week. So it's just sort of like I'm streaming this in between today and tomorrow. Earlier today, the entire reason we're late today is because there was thunderstorms just going around. And there's gonna be more tomorrow and on Thursday, so I kind of need to like do this today. But apart from that, it's going well. Hope your week has been going fine so far. And we've got something else we need to do, which is... No. We need 21 more... we need 21 more noise fragments. I'm sure there are some viruses that give them, but yeah. I mean, you know, they don't necessarily suck. It's just that I woke up today. It was like, oh, I can't shower because... You know, I can't shower because I'm in the middle of a lightning storm. That's always fun. But no, yeah, so today's essentially just kind of like a weird Sunday sessions kind of vibe.
Never let your guard down.
Like, we are just gonna go ahead, we're gonna grind at a strong swing, great. We're just kind of gonna grind it out today. Consider this to be a Sunday sessions kind of vibe, like we had last Sunday.
Here they come.
You know, we're just here to have fun, have a good time. Have a good time and talk about what we feel like. Hang on, do I have... Okay, we have chivalry. Okay. Now, I don't know what is gonna be the determinant for noise fragments. I should have really looked it up. I had a week. Oh well. I had a week.
For us.
Doesn't matter. We need 21 of them.
Warning, 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 warning.
Hello, buddy. Unfortunately, I don't care about you right now. But yeah, no, overall, you know, it's been going well. Like, gonna need to write some stuff out the stream. And for now, just gonna have a good old time.
Time to let loose.
Like, it's been a journey, all right.
We aced that.
So far, not lucky. But yeah, we've had a grand old time, and that's the important part. It's been a journey for 23 streams.
Bring it on.
All right, that was great.
I'm sorry, am I missing something with Shuriken? Hang on. Oh, hang on, they're not... Oh. In order to get it, you need... Gotcha, I see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, let's go to make some changes. Let's get rid of you. Let's get you. Do double time bomb. Because it needs to be with normal guards. That would explain a lot.
Here we go. Got you.
Did you really think you could beat us?
Go to skid bomb. I mean, I'm assuming noise fragments are part of. Otherwise, I can always just go into noise frag 4. Like, that's not the biggest problem on the planet.
I'm ready to fight. Okay. How's this?
Okay, never mind. There we go.
You're no match for us.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just. Oh, wait, hang on. I know exactly where we can go for this. Which is where I was also standing to get the final noise fragments needed for another card. Also, for those of you who might have missed the Sunday Infra stream, in case you're curious and want to kind of stick after we're done with Starforce, it is up on YouTube at the moment. So it is. There are some audio issues, some audio problems, but like there are some audio problems in that it's mostly just really quiet. But apart from that, yeah. If you want to go and stick around for whatever we're going to be doing after this, that's one of the games.
We deleted them into next week.
Now I do know that
I won't lose. Have some of this.
Come on, I was just getting started.
the beauty is, well, we need to get 500 battles anyway. So this deck is about as optimized as can be. Deck is about as optimized as can be for that kind of stuff. single use over here for you. Go, because we'll get the 180.
Put up a fight.
It's another Crown Thunder.
Show him what you've got, Geo. You're done.
All the
Might actually need to look it up what the noise fragments are.
Warning, 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 warning.
Okay, what do you have a Queen Virgo? Well, Queen Virgo, I do not care. What I care about is... There we go.
Show him what you've got, Geo.
Got you! Never let your
That's
guard
not what I
down.
wanted. Like, this deck is relatively optimized for it.
Here we go! Got you!
Go.
Blasted him into stardust.
Snowball. Might have a look around and see if there's any way to get them faced here.
I won't
So far, we've not
lose.
been that lucky.
Okay.
That might actually be a good idea. Let me
It
go
was
ahead
just
and
getting
take a quick
started.
look. Let me take a quick look-see look. One moment. Noise on the control panel on Geo's house. See, oh, only has Vulcan enemies. Noise value wave will only feature Vulcan enemies as soon as the... Oh, cool. Hang on, that right there is some great advice that I'm seeing online. Thank you very much, random person online. They told me that... let me go and quickly do something. Oops. There is a noise fragment with only one kind of enemy, which is exactly what we currently need. We do need to get... Exactly. Thank you, citizen, indeed. Where are you? Cinco Gags, there we go. Thank you, random Redditor, that I found the answer for. Oh, hi, Betty. Like, I've also seen people be like, oh yeah, you can also use the bosses, which is
Mega Man!
fair, but it's also slower. So, in theory, this should only give... Yes, it does!
I'm counting on you, Mega.
Show him who's
Whoa!
number one.
Okay, yes, thank you, random citizen. 20 more to go. That is exactly what I needed.
Here they come.
All right, that was great.
That is all right. We are officially in business.
Here they come. Goodbye.
We aced that.
Supposedly, we can also probably use this for a thing that we don't necessarily need to do,
All right. Let's clear them.
but still
back.
could do,
Put
which
up
is
a fight.
some gambling stuff. I'm not gambling, but like you need to get like lucky 3 times. This also is a nice grind for the 500 as well. So
You
yeah,
ready,
turns
Mega?
out the random citizen was absolutely correct.
Never let your guard down.
Probably in case you get here early. I know we need
I'm ready to
5 more
fight.
for the achievement.
That's what you get for underestimating me.
Unfortunately, there's not much else we can do beyond hoping.
Bring it on. Goodbye.
We can always go back here for in case we don't hit the 500, which... There we go, that's 11. So we need 30 for the mega card. And here you think, well, try, why don't you just kill viruses? Because there aren't enough viruses in the game to hit 30. There we go, that's 12. Now I know that once we hit 15 that we will get an achievement pop because we've heard 30
Let's
noise.
go all out.
We deleted them into next week.
So I know that I've hit 15 once the achievement pops up, which is very nice. Anyway, ads about to start. We will continue grinding. Anyone wants me to talk about anything,
Mega.
let me know.
Come back when you can put up a fight.
Okay, let me actually just wait, because it means the next noise frag will be the achievement one. Yeah, 14. Oh, wow. We might actually be done within the hour. Oh dear, I've got nothing else planned. Oh no, I have nothing else planned in case we do. This is suddenly going real fast. Hang on. Yeah. So we are currently waiting for the ad break to finish. Because given the fact that we have 14 and the achievement hits pops at 15, if you're wondering, if you're going like, what do you mean? Achievement says 30. You're talking about 15. That's because you need 15 for one of the small cards. And given that we've already beaten Sirius, it means that, well, we already got 15. They're not asking for 30 in having them but just having gotten 15. Anyway, welcome back everyone on Twitch side. The reason that I didn't continue is because, as you can see here, we have 14 plus the 15 that we needed from the last one, means that next one should in theory trigger the achievement.
Show 'em what you've got, Geo. Goodbye. Wasn't even a contest.
Although we can obviously might not necessarily get as lucky. Well, you know.
Bring it on. Goodbye. Come on, I was just getting started.
Although the difference between 2 and 3 is... Yeah. The difference between 2 and 3 is the difference between getting 1 card and getting 3 cards.
Let's make this quick.
You're done. You're no match for us.
There we go, there's a noise frag, and there we go, noise collector obtained 30 noise fragments. We have 15 more to go, so yeah. I mean, I might as well, what am I gonna talk about while I'm doing this? Well, let me just talk about, so we have 15 more to go just for this, 14 more to go for the mega cards, Giga cards, my apologies. Should we not have the 500 battles, what we will do is we will just do 50 battles here, check, 50 battles, 50 battles check, 50 battles check. So, yeah. Yeah, overall, what I will say is that the Starforce achievements aren't necessarily that bad. Like, if you want to go for 100%, go for it, dude. Like, there is just about every 30. Like, just about, also, I assume the audio issues are fine, otherwise people would, I assume, be talking about it. But no, yeah. It's, I'm actually kind of surprised by how not that difficult it is, especially with the options available. If you have to do them, 12 left, I believe, let me check. What I will say is that I obviously, the rules that we've played with, okay, 12 left, is that, so for those of you who are curious about the rules that I've been using, this is how it looks in the post-game. Outside of post-game, the only ones that I had access to, or the only ones that I used, was the EXV2 bosses, because it's not a challenge to try and find them, it's just annoying. Guaranteed escape, because why not? And HP recovery, because it couldn't be bothered. But yeah, those were my settings, and then in the post-game we're just gonna go wild and see how far we get. But the game gives you all the tools to 100% the collection,
Blasted him.
is what I'm trying to say. Compared to something like, ooh, hang on. What did we just get? Oh, it's out of content. Okay. But compared to something like Battle Network or the X Collection, like, there aren't really any go out of your way achievements, apart from maybe one or two things,
Show him what you've got, Gio.
which require very obscure mechanics. But apart from
really
that,
think
it's
you could
just
beat us?
genuinely... Like, it's very doable. Like, if there's gonna be... If you're like, okay, there's one series that I'm gonna 100% the achievements for, Starforce is a good bet. The only one that you would really have trouble with is best combo. But even then, I would argue that once you know what it is that you're doing, there are ways to kind of work around the requirements.
Quick.
And especially if you already love the games, like, there's no reason not to. The only thing that gets really annoying, I want to say, is the... Well, is this one, is this requirement. It's the 500 battles.
Here they come.
To be fair, it used to be
I was just getting started.
that you needed to win, like, I want to say 50 PvP battles, 10 PvP battles. That's obviously no longer an option, and already, we're 2 months in. Already, sort of like that particular scene is just dead.
Showed him who's number one.
There we go, 11. So it's a nice way to just kind of
You
do
won't
achievement
be
hunting.
getting out of this in one. Goodbye. You're no match for us.
Like, and also, to be honest, I've been just really enjoying myself. Like, coming back here is just reliving my childhood. Or at least my teenage years.
Let's finish him off.
And there's...
Goodbye.
Like, I rolled
Wasn't
into
even a
Mega Man
contest.
with Starforce, is what I'm saying. There is not a single series that I hold more... that I personally have more affection for than this series.
We showed him who's number one.
It goes, what is it, 10, I believe? Let me check. Okay, 9. Okay, never mind. Only 9 left to go. Yeah, there's not a single series I have more affection here. No worries, dude. Like, we're vibing. It's sort of like a Sunday stream in that regard. Which is actually a good moment to quickly talk about, now that we're sort of like done after today. What's next? Well, on Sundays, we're going to be streaming Infra. First VOD is already up on YouTube, which now that I've mentioned that twice, let me just very quickly do this real fast. There we go. That's purely for the sake of. So yeah, that's where you can go ahead, find me. Can find the Sunday streams as well for later. All the Sunday streams will be archived there.
All right.
Next few weeks are gonna be only guaranteed streams on Sundays.
We deleted him into next
Like,
week.
we will kind of see when I have time, when the weather is working, all that kind of stuff. Then around the mid of June, we will be starting Persona 4 Golden, which is another very long playthrough. Might actually become the longest we've ever done. After that, we will see
No
again.
time for slack, kid.
Like, it's not... Like, I've just been in an
I was
RPG mood
just
lately.
getting started.
And that's sort of what you get here, 8 more to go, is variety. Just lots of variety. We're here to just kind of chat, talk. We'll see what we... you know, I stream what I feel like streaming. Especially the coming weeks. They're called free spaces, like on a bingo board.
Come on, I was just getting started.
And I stream whatever I feel like. Maybe I'm streaming Kingdom Hearts one day, because that's what I'm already playing. Maybe I'll be streaming a playthrough of Victoria 3. Maybe I'm just feeling like Euro Truck Simulator.
Here they
Until
come.
I'm streaming again on YouTube,
I hope I can get even
I won't
stronger.
know myself. It really depends on any given day. Maybe I will go ahead and go for the full playthrough of Deus Ex. You know, that's sort of a thing.
I'm ready to fight.
So that's all that's gonna be left. But let's not talk yet about what's next. Because my opinions on, well, to be honest, like the collection are, I think, just about a 10 out of a 10. Like, if we ignore for a moment just the games
Let's
themselves,
do this.
I don't think you can ask for more of a collection than this particular collection. Like, there is just so many quality of life improvements here. Also, thank you very much for the reminder to hydrate. It is, like, very humid here. Thank you very much for that reminder. Like, it is so humid right now. I mean, there are 9 Mega Man X games. I streamed 8 of them. I genuinely don't remember which one you're talking about.
All according to plan.
There you go. But something else actually we're also going to be doing at some point. Normally this is done on Sundays, but like I said, Sundays are Infra, and after we're done with Infra, Zero Time Dilemma, because it's the 10-year anniversary of certainly one of the games of all time. This is purely for real fast. This is purely for sort of like its own entirely separate thing from the normal gaming streams, but I do feel the need to mention this just in case. There is gonna be a politics update at some point at the beginning of July. We're 6 months into the year. We'll talk a bit about the government is now 100 days old. That's all its own entirely separate thing. Don't worry about it. If you're purely here for the stream or for the gaming, no need to worry about it. We don't talk about it during gaming streams, but it's its own entire separate side thing due to my studies. So if you are interested in that, I'll once we get closer to it, I'll let people know what the date is for that particular stream. But yeah, that's sort of like what the summer is gonna look like.
Let's make this quick.
We're just gonna have a lot of fun. Gonna be playing games, gonna be playing Persona. I'm really happy to go back to Inaba, to be honest, on that front. Gonna be vibing with Infra, gonna be vibing with Zero Time Dilemma, which is like Zero Time Dilemma is just fun as a streamer because there's so much just content in there from a comedy perspective. Will be very fun in my opinion. So yeah, okay, hang on. For those of you who don't know, hang on. There we go.
All right, let's clear them out.
So yeah, I don't, you know, like it doesn't really come up in casual conversation like that. So don't worry about it too much. There's a very clear rule: no politics, especially no American politics, unless it's a stream specifically dedicated to it.
Let's go.
So no worries. You're not suddenly gonna get hit with the politics stick, and if you are, then I'll make it very clear when it's all ended. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I'm not trying to run people or to run people away.
You better prepare yourself. Goodbye.
But yes, I hold the masters in that stuff. And yet here I am. There we go. Enjoying one of my favorite games of all time. Yep. Oh, there you go. I mean, to be fair, it's not as weird as you think. Like, I know someone that has worked for NASA that streams on Twitch as well, and we're both playing Final Fantasy 14. So, you know, it's not as weird as it sounds. 6 more left to go. There we go. So it's not as weird as it sounds. Although it is weird enough that I was the first person to use Hollow Knight in my studies. Like, here's something genuinely fun. It's tangentially related. Ooh, that's nice. But no, this is tangentially related in that I wrote a paper, but one of the fun things about my studies is I got to use Hollow Knight in a paper. Like, I got to use the beginning poem in a paper about that was just all about just writing from the top of your head. And that was a really fun afternoon to do, to just write about language and about Hollow Knight and video games and that kind of stuff. And also everyone was like, okay, so the way that it works is there was a 15-minute timer. So it's actually. Yeah, no, precisely. And so here's actually a really fun gimmick because I still use it to this day whenever I'm kind of stuck with writing, and I think it's a really good way of doing this. Is I had a class that was essentially a writing exercise, which is the teacher had put on a clock of a 15-minute clock, and our job was to just write, not think. about what it is that we were writing. Like, the entire job was, you've got 15 minutes, just type. Type about whatever comes up. Just stream of thought, stream of conscious. You can edit later. Just get something on paper, because the hardest part of writing is often just beginning to write. And so I started doing that. You know, I just had 50 minutes. I was just kind of writing, I was typing, I was doing my thing, and I'm sometimes looking around and I'm seeing people constantly go ahead, go backspace and edit stuff, and I'm like, that's not the assignment we've been given. We've just been told, type. Just stream of conscious, get stuff on paper, on the page. So 15 minutes are up and people are like, oh yeah, I've gotten 200 words, I've gotten 300 words. Then they come to me and they're like, okay, Tribe, how many words do you have? And I'm like, well, I'm sitting at 1200. Like, I already had like a full essay on like Hollow Knight and the elegy of emptiness from that you read at the start of the game. Yeah, no one really knew what to do with that. It's like, how did you do that? I'm like, well, the task was to just that you could edit later, so I just was typing. You know, the task was, you've got 50 minutes, type as much as you want, or type for those 50 minutes, and you can edit later. And lo and behold, I did just that. In the end, it actually worked out really well, because I only spent like 3 hours maybe editing the entire paper, managed to still get a nice grade for it. Whereas everyone else was stuck 2 days working on the topic that they had written about in those 15 minutes. I was like, oh yeah, majority is already finished. I can just fix the mistakes and add a few sources here and there. But the thing is that it's a genuinely oh yeah, as you mentioned, you are not allowed to put links in the stream, unfortunately. That's to avoid bots for obvious reasons. Still preserve, study nature. He must first reach out with raw material, spend as much time making contact. Yeah. That's actually a really good. That's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah. You finish long before that time is up. Chances are you're not approaching the study in the right way. It is not a quick glance at the mountain far away, but a slow paced thing. That's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good way of looking at it. It's like, if you are done, if you sort of like are quickly done. Also, you haven't fully understood the assignment. Oh, there's not a link. Okay. I don't know in that case what Twitch was doing, but yeah, that's a really interesting way of, sort of like a very similar way of looking at it.
Time to let
like, and to be honest, it's a writing exercise that I use to this day. Is if I'm like kind of stuck with writing and I want to start something and I'm not sure where to begin, I'll go only 3 left. But if I don't know where to begin, I'll just set myself a timer, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on the task. I'll just write. Just stream of conscious writing, based on whatever task. And because I often find that it's easier to continue writing than that it is to start writing.
You won't be getting out of this in one.
I'm feeling good.
Like, maybe I'm probably not alone in that, but I often find that if it's like, oh, I need to return to something, that it's easier to return than it is to start. Like, be that writing or music or
No time for slack.
or streaming or editing. Like, already, if you're already in the middle, thank you. If you're already in the middle of something, it is often just easier to continue going than that it is to just like have to start from the beginning.
You ready, Mega?
And when I was writing my thesis, that technique actually helped me out a lot. So yeah, there's a little tip, I guess. Like, maybe for some people it works, for some people it doesn't.
Here they come.
But it was nice. It allowed me to sort of connect video games to it all. There we go. There is the. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and go for no encounters. Stay alert, do your work. Don't worry about the world going by. Doesn't mean you can sit around doing anything. You better do it. Exactly. You know, you can fix it, but in order to fix it, it must first exist. That's I guess another way to look at it is, you know, you can fix it later, but in order to fix it, it must exist. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, it's actually a good thing that you weren't aware that I was what my studies are, because that means that I've been able to avoid it.
Transcode!
Although to be fair, if we play games where politics are more of a thing, then obviously I will be talking more about it. Then I'll obviously be talking more about it, and it will become more relevant. But you know, we're playing Starforce. Oh, for the love of... Oh, hang on, wrong one. Also... Alright. Let me first of all get the thing. And then... Let's say... I want to say 50 per...
Transcode! Mega Man!
There we go. Now we get into the part of the stream that is gonna be just kind of annoying because we don't know how... Yeah, actually, this is a genuine criticism I have. I don't know how long... There we go. First of all, thank you. But I don't know how many fights I fought. It's like, oh yeah, how close am I to the 500? I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and do 25 per. Yeah, let's go and do 25 per.
Transcode! Mega Man!
That would make it, at most, assuming the absolute worst, that would make it at most 20 runs. So, yeah.
Oh-ha! Bring it on! Goodbye!
All right! That was great!
There you go. In the meantime, this is going to continue on.
Let's make this quick!
You're done. Come back.
What I
You can
might
put
do
up
is I
a
might...
fight.
Hang on, let me go ahead and actually do something here real fast on the general settings. Let me put the voices down to 0 for now. Because we're gonna be here a while. But yeah, that's maybe the one critique that I have, is that you can't see how many fights you fought. Because that will make the achievement a lot easier. But yeah, like I said, it's good that you guys don't know about my studies. And like I said, don't worry, those streams are like fully separate. They're also not gonna be as advertised. Like, I'll not advertise them on Discord. Or, I mean, I do need to advertise them somewhat on Discord, but like, they will not be advertised on Blue Sky, that kind of thing. They will not be put in other streamers. Oh, whoops.
Warning, 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 warning.
That still works for me. No, 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 no. There we go, we will keep my noise. I like my noise. There we go. That's 5.
Warning, 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 warning.
What we can also do is we can also go until we reach 15 noise and then do it state with 15 each. That way there is like a more deliberate way of looking at it. It's currently at 8. Currently at 8 fights. But no, yeah. Also, for those of you who were... Yeah, no, I'm not gonna ask it. Never mind. I kind of want to ask if the audio was visible in front of it, but I know it isn't. I could hear it. But yeah, as for other things, to be honest, it's not as if I've been doing much with my life. I've been trying to find a job, and I finally... Actually, there was actually something. So, the bookstore that I go to actually was cordoned off by the police last week. No, not quite cordoned off, but it was like the jewelry right near it was was dealing with a burglary. So the police had decided, in their infinite wisdom, to make it impossible to see if you could get to the bookstore, which is in an old church that has been repurposed. And I happen to have a sister that is not great at asking... Ghost 10 is not great at asking for help. Not in a bad way, but more so like she doesn't really see the purpose of it at times. So yeah, that was a fun few minutes to try and figure out. The best part is we walk all the way around, ask the police officer, hey, can we get there? Can we get to the bookstore? And the police officer's like, oh yeah, just, you know, go all the way around again, back to where you were, back at the little T junction that you were, and just go the other direction. It's like, god damn it. It was a full, what is it, 5 to 10 minutes walk we had to do? I mean, yeah, it was a very lovely day, so it's not as if I'm mad. But... Yeah, it's not exactly what I thought. It's not how I wish to spend my Monday mornings, but it was still fun. And it's actually surprisingly interesting to see how that kind of stuff works. You know, it was interesting to see like the news camera come in and make pictures. And just sort of see them everything set up, because it was like very early in the morning, like shops had only been open for 10-15 minutes. So that only genuinely like been discovered like maybe 30 minutes earlier. Oh, it's 15. Probably way more than 15, but let me just count as 15. So it's the kind of thing. It was that's interesting to see, to just have happen once near you. Mostly from the perspective of, ooh, so that's, you know, it's the kind of thing you normally see on TV, and it's like, ooh. But other than that, yeah. Hang on, much has been happening. It's been hot. It's been hot and humid, and as a result, I've been sitting at home playing Victoria 3, playing... Oh no, wait, hang on. I've actually been playing Mass Effect as well, so like the Mass Effect trilogy finally. Which I'm almost done with, but like, yeah. Can't get myself to kind of finish the final section of Mass Effect 3. Like, they just throw so much at you. For like, here are all these side quests. It's like, I can't go back to a lot of these places, and I don't know if I've like gotten everything. It is definitely an experience. Anyway, that's 21. We have an ad break coming up in 2 minutes. Pretty much, yeah. I will say that I've been playing as Renegade, because I know that historically Renegade options aren't really taken. Well, for the first 2 games. For the third game, since the options don't really matter so much, it's just picking one. I've just been going with my own gut, which is still 75-25 in favor. It still has 35% Renegade in it. But yeah, it's been fun to see. Like, for what is supposedly the evil option, surprisingly, I don't find it to be evil so much as that it's more so more so taking shortcuts, I guess, in a way. Like, it's not evil in the way that you expect it to. It's more aggressive, no nonsense. Okay, let's go ahead and see. We have gotten more than 25, but I kind of lost count at some point. Well, we have got roughly 25, so let me see the exit. But yeah, it's been fun. Like, I will say though, I can see the figure is that compared to, because obviously I'm well aware of the controversies regarding Mass Effect 3. Like, on the one hand, I'm kind of like, I understand from the perspective of, oh, you know, it's sort of like the end of a trilogy and all your actions. At the same time, the amount of variables, like, they are already to this, like, in a game today, it would be next to impossible to do that, let alone 13, 15 years ago. Like, what were people realistically expecting to happen? Well, once again, going for another set of 25. And I'm gonna continue on with this India break. Currently just continuing on Juro throughout the outbreak. So don't worry, we will be talking again once... It might actually be easier to just...
Warning.
Welcome back, everyone. Anyway, as I was saying, like, I'm surprised by how little I care about the controversy back in 2013. No, don't respond. We are a rogue household over here. Also, this is number 5, I believe. The good news is that after this set, we've done at a minimum 10%. Like, one way or another, we will have done 10% of the 500 battles. Yeah, so, yeah, on the whole, I've been enjoying it. Like, I did see some discourse from in yesteryear of, like, that they didn't quite understand like some of the motivations and stuff like that, and they're sort of like getting rid of the Lovecraftian aspects, which is fair. Once again, at the same time, the question is, what were you realistically expecting to happen? Like, it's sort of like a realism thing, right? It's like there's only so much you can do with a video game. Like, once Sovereign is introduced in Mass Effect 1, they can't stay mysterious forever. Like, at some point you kind of need to beat and fight them. So it's 10, so... Like, at some point you kind of need to fight them, one way or another. Like, and the thing about Lovecraftian, because I've seen some people talk about Reapers as wanting to be Lovecraftian. The problem with Lovecraftian is that you never defeat them, and for a blockbuster game, that was never gonna be allowed. Like, purely from the perspective of this is a blockbuster game, it's one of the biggest games. Mass Effect 3 coming out was one of the big events of the year. Like, there was no way that they would have the Reapers win or have you be the final survivor. That, like, there are lots of games that have that kind of stuff, and Fallout is surprisingly one of the games that you can allow that outcome for. It's another relatively big series, but like people just aren't quite ready for those kinds of stories. Like the sort of like empty final survivor, you know, like just continuation of the cycle kind of thing, that just won't work with the general public. Go 15. Like, that just won't work. So you kind of need to make a choice at that point. And I think that in the end, and I've not quite gotten to the end yet, but from what I've seen, like, sort of like resolving the big major points is the best they can do. Like, that is genuinely just kind of the best they can do given the circumstances. But there's nothing wrong with that. I think this is 19, but I'm not quite keeping count. We're doing this partially based on vibes. Yeah, is there anything that, like I said, if there's any topic you want me to talk about, please go ahead and let me know. So this is fight number 20, I believe. So makes this fight number 45. Then since we started counting, I should mention, that is not including everything else we've done in the game. But it's sort of like worst case scenario, not a single fight has been accepted, which is obviously not the case. It's 21. So at least this is fight 22, I believe. And as far as it shows, I mean, I've been watching Good Place again. That's been really fun to go over in a couple of evenings. And I'm actually, and this is due to you, what you just said, Akotezu. Also, apologies for any name butchery. But I might begin watching Twin Peaks again after stream. Like, I've been in the David Lynch mood in general lately. So maybe going for like Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet. I still need to watch some of this stuff. Just, I don't know, I've been in the kind of mood, like summers always kind of make me go for the more mysterious stuff. Like, I'm the kind of person that likes to do the opposite of the season. Like, you will absolutely see me watch Christmas movies in the middle of July. And I'll be watching something like Palm Springs during the holiday season because I just like opposites, I guess. Okay, there we go. That is roughly 25, so that makes 50. I've not been keeping track of how many fights I've done over the course of the of everything, to be honest. Like, I'm not even going to try and put a number on it. Also, should the idea that I have not quite work, there is another way to get Omega fights going, which is, I believe, like 1 in 64 shots. But there is a route that I want to run in that case, which is Echo Ridge into the Astral Wave into Aloha, which fulfills all criteria. Okay, hang on. I just need to go out and blow off some steam. We got very lucky for the achievement. You know what? I might just go and stay in now in here because otherwise the constant running back and forth. We're gonna do this in groups of 10 this time around because I genuinely just, yeah. Alright, let's do this. Groups of 10. It'll be a bit slower, but so be it. But that avoids the situation of having to run back and forth. And it's almost just a squeak. 3. Go to do counting with drive. That's 4. Oh god, I assume there's a mod out there that allows you to see it. 5. Counting with tribe. Annoyed edition. But no, yeah, like I said, apart from that, there's not much happening here. Like, I could be talking about Twin Peaks, about how much I enjoy it, how much I love it. But that's not really that interesting for content. So, yeah. I really should have thought about this beforehand to have made sure that we hit the, but the thing is like, I've done every single part of the journey, no matter how annoying, no matter how grindy. You know, 7, there we go. No matter how annoying. So this is a part of it. Like, this is part of the experience. Is it really a 100% achievement if I don't do this part as well? Like, yeah, I can go ahead and just kind of do it off stream, which, to be honest, but you know, this is life as well. 9. Ignore that sound. Turn that off. And that will be number 10. Alright, then let's go for another set of 10. Oh boy, we are currently at 60. You know what? I'm just gonna go and count from where we are. So we are at a minimum. Worst possible scenario, we're now at 61. Like, let's just go ahead and do it this way. $62. I don't care if we have to go until 5 AM in the morning, like, this is being done today, one way or another. 63. Congratulations to the Mr. Hertz. $64. $65. Oh boy. Counting with count tribe over here. How many fights did we need in order to unlock the door? 66. 67. That's a meme. $68. Can you say 68? There's a 6 and an 8 in it. The funny number. This is getting annoying real fast. I genuinely do need to continue counting for myself, otherwise I will completely forget where I am in the counting. There we go, that is 70. And we continue on. Onwards to 80. 71. I can't believe that we were... Oh, how far we were away from it. $72. $73. $74. Well, in other words, I can just see on the timer how much we're doing in any given half hour. It is genuinely scary. $75. Wow, we are at 75, and this is, like I said, this is worst case. Like, I've obviously missed many, and we have, let's say at a minimum, 50 for everything else we've done. 76. This is just the amount of fights that we have done today, during this particular stream. What was the number again? Oh, 76, I believe, that we were at first. There you go, this is 76, I believe. I've long since lost count, but we'll continue counting. $77. $77. What can I do to make this interesting? 78. I have an idea, but I kind of want to wait until we reach the 90s before I talk about it. $79. So here's my idea. Here's my idea to make this interesting. I will, for every 100 that we do not get it with, throw out a gift sub to someone that's in chat. Or that's someone that's either in chat or lurking. Just randomly picking a number. Like, I kind of feel if you guys are gonna sit here counting with tribe, then you need... You know, like, there needs to be a reward for it at the end. So every 100 fights... Remember, we need 500 to open the door, but every 100 fights, I will throw out the gift sub. This will cost me, worst comes to worst, $25. Anyway, 81. So we're checking every time. Because I don't want to believe that we're severely that far off. And if there's someone else in the chat, then I don't know what I'll do. There we go, 82. So, like I said, we're just throwing in sort of like randomizer. I'll just pick a random name from the chat hat. or the lurk hat. 83. This is getting scary. How far away was I? I don't want to know. There we go. 84. $85. 86. This is getting really scary now, but to be fair, I'm checking every 10. How far was I? How far was I from it? Still at 86 because I don't do warnings, because I don't want to lose the best noise. $87. Oh, good lord. Come on, buddy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. See, I knew that just shooting pallets. 88. I knew that shooting pallets would help. $89. $90. All right. $91. FPC, really seriously? Please don't tell me we're at a minimum 100 away. Also, fun fact, we're currently doing 50 in 1.5 hour block at the moment. 92. We might be hitting we might be hitting 50 fights in like 1.5 hour block. That is not good. Oh, come on. There we go. 93. Oh, good lord. This is... oh well. This is the one part of the game that I'm not the biggest fan of. 94. I remember there was a GameFAQs post that said like, hey, if you just go through the story normally and like, you know, by the time you get to this point, you should have all the cards, or they've done all the battles. 95. They lied. They all lied. $96. The reverse funny number. At 100, I might genuinely take a short break, purely for my own voice and for some water and everything. $97. I think. I might have stuck on a few numbers, but that's the last number I remember. $98. My god, we are now past the amount of numbers on the bingo boards. Some numbers fun fact for you. 99. There we go. Last number before we hit triple digits. Last number before we reach triple digits. And that is 100 fights since we started today's stream. Well, that is the first 100 set of 100. Let's see who's currently lurking. And we have 2 names here, so let me go ahead and... One moment, let me go ahead and do random number generator here. Let's say 1 to 50 is 1, 51 to 100 is 2, 45. Congratulations, Kotazu. Since we've reached 100 without having gotten it, here's your free gift up. The other person will get it once we reach 200. That is 101. $102. It's been 52 fights since the last ad break. $103. I mean, if you're gonna sit here with, just seeing me fight, then there should be, like I said, should be a little reward at the end of the rainbow. 104. Hang on, let me actually talk about, let me see, I found a topic to talk about, which is something that I've been thinking about in regards to Infra 105, which is the stream that, game that we streamed on Sunday, which is essentially a question that I sort of had in my mind as I was done with the stream. Which is that the sort of like big moment in the first part is the dam and sort of like the speech that you hear at in the trailer as well, 106. Okay, no worries. You too, dude. You too. I mean, hey man, you saw me deal with 100 fights. You deserve a reward. So does everyone. 107. No worries, dude. I hope you're having a genuinely great rest of your week. But yeah, so it's like the dam is sort of like the big moment in the first chapter where you get like the Alex Hartman speech. I want to say this is 108 or 109. Let's make it 108 just to be safe. And so the question is like, why don't you just start the game with that? Like, why do you have the dam, or why do you not wait until the very end of the chapter with that? Like, you know, like how walk 109, walk all the way straight through sort of like the forest, and then have the dam at the end instead of in the middle. And even if we ignore the realism aspect of it, there is actually surprisingly an answer for it. Which is that, there we go, 110, which is that the dam... The answer was 110 fights! That is Geiger Collector. Collect all Geiger cards. Just because it was so close, I'm gonna be kind and throw in a second gift up. Because, yeah, why not? At this point, we've sat through going through 110 fights. There we go. Everyone in chat that didn't have like a gift sub yet now has officially gotten themselves a gift sub. Congratulations. There's an ad break coming up in 90 seconds. I'll be taking a longer break for a moment, so do enjoy the music. I'll be right back, and then we have one final achievement left to go. We have one more achievement left to go after this. I'm gonna start the ad break, or not the start break, but I'm gonna start the break a bit early. I'll be back in 5 minutes. We have only the Omega boss left to go. We're almost there, 100% of Starforce. See you guys in 5 minutes at the most. I just realized all this time everything has been on not gaming. That's on me. I'm just doing well today. and there we go. We are back. I do apologize for that, but we need to go to do one thing because I need to remember how to activate Crimson Dragon XP. One moment. Okay. Okay, let me go ahead and take a quick look. First of all, let me go and save. Then let's go to the game titles menu. And in theory... Oh, cool! We actually have different inputs. Cool. This is the kind of stuff that I like to see here. Neo Seeker, do I need to do anything specific? I remember there being like... Okay, so we've got Apollo just... hang on, is that Apollo just a Silver Star? Yeah, I'm aged. I don't know what that means. How do I go? How do I unlock the Dragon and Crimson? That is not Google. You are. Let me see here. See here. Okay, so after the player collects all 5. Okay, so there's nothing we need to do for it, I think. So let's go and continue. Oh wait, no wait, hang on. I can check this in a different way. I'm a derp. Good lord. Starforce 3 input. Crimson Dragon SP. There we go. With the gold stars. Okay, hang on. The Sigma bosses and the Rogue CC are unlocked by tapping 2 specific passwords with the gold stars. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Code sections. I'm gonna go to Signal Vision for open. Huh? Look at all. Okay, there we go. Code section. Thank you, GameFox. Random GameFox guide from 20 years ago. Oh, GameFox. The day that that particular site goes down, just I don't even want to imagine. Genuinely, the day that GameFox goes down is a sad day for all of humanity. Let me see here. Side quest guide, boss guide. Maybe it's boss guide. Let me check. BV3. BV3. Special. Okay, there we go. Special. So you must go to the title screen, hold down the L button by tap the gold stars. Okay, oh, 1 moment. Let's try that again. Input. And use... Oh. Okay, it says BARJ, but that's, I assume, AJ. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, Ace. Black Ace. G... M S G S AJ. Greg, you hear the sound? I cannot. Oh, but hang on. Hang on, let's try that again. Input. Let's try the Sigma bosses. S, G. Oh, oops, my bad. Let's try it again. S, G, S, M. Okay, that is step 1 done. G, M, M, S, S, G, S. Alright, let's just first of all see what happens if we do the thing. One thing is that we do have some stuff now unlocked, which we do need for the achievement. But first things first. There's one. Let's first of all go all the way back to where we fought Crimson Dragon, so that we can fight, hopefully fight his lovely little brother, which should unlock more stuff. Now there is another way to do this. The reason we're going for Rogue ZZ is because he's guaranteed to happen. There is, however, a plan B that I have. Plan B is called Run Between Echo Ridge and Aloha. Till we actually hear a change in music, because that's the sign that the Omega Boss has been activated. There we go, that's all set. Let's save just in case. We know that we've got the right thing when our boss in question has 4,500 experience. Also, I'm not good enough for... Yes, there we go. There is the first fun new fight. Say hello to Crimson Dragon SP. Your reward for beating every single thing about the game. Let's just go ahead and just, for now, show him his attacks. Because as you can see, we would otherwise be beating the whole thing rather quickly. He's not that difficult. It's just that his attacks are a lot longer. And also some attacks are relatively unavoidable. But he's not that fundamentally different from the first fight. He says... Ow. Let's for a moment pretend to do... Let's for a moment pretend as if I actually did this fully. We can always just do this with like the normal cards at some other point in time. So go ahead, go through. Compared to Lemu, actually, there are a lot less cutscenes. And over here we obviously have 8,000. So there is actually a fun fact about this fight, which is that after 3 turns, no matter what, your Galaxy Force is activated and you cannot die during this fight. Like, even if I were to deactivate the ability to have 100% health, I would still not be able to die. You would always be stuck at exactly 100. You would always be stuck at exactly 1 HP. And the same goes for Crimson Dragon. You need to beat him with Galaxy Force, the Galaxy Force Big Bang. That is in all versions, including the normal version. Also, the orchestral music here is so cool. And there we go. After 3 turns, Blackened Galaxy automatically is given to you so that you can finish up Let me also go ahead and do something here because I completely forgot to bring the volume settings back on. Which is a shame. There we go. That is because we used the credits to talk about the post-game of Starforce 3. As is tradition, we sort of like use the post-game credits for Toki Toki. Surprisingly, the thing I do like about Starforce 3 is that the majority of the cutscenes are at the very end, unlike with the second game, where they're all at the very start. That's not... There's a lot you can say about it, but at the very least you can quickly get into the fight once you've seen the cutscenes before. But yeah. So let's take a moment to talk about the post-game, as is tradition with these streams. Because I think the post-game of Starforce 3 is the best it gets. There is a genuine story, lots of areas. The requirements aren't that bad once you know what it is that you're looking for. Like I said, there are ways that you... as we saw today actually with the grinding for the noise fragments, it almost feels as if the game has particular areas designed for grinding those particular elements. So getting the 45 noise fragments isn't as difficult as it seems, but it is definitely the kind of thing you want to wait for until the end of the game. But then again, you on some level decide how much you want to do before you start the post-game. Like, not unlike with Starforce 2, where the post-game is very hidden, and you need to either know exactly what it is you're doing, or you need to just explore and hope. With Starforce 3, at the very least, the post-game is clearly signaled, which is a nice change. But there's also just a solid story in there of going full circle. The very first... No, not the very first. But you could argue that the very first brawler that you made, even if it was never said as such, is Omegasis at the start of Starforce 1. He's the one that continues following you around. He's sort of like follower 0, so to speak. And it then makes it come nicely full circle that what you do at the very end of Starforce 3, which is what we now know to be the final game for now, is to save his planet. It's a nice moment. Omegasis and the King of Planet FM saved you to some extent. As bizarre as it sounds, if it wasn't for Planet FM attacking Earth, Geo might never have gotten out of his depression. It would never have allowed Omegasis to find Geo. It would never have allowed for essentially for Geo's depression to start slowly, over the course of 3 games, move into something healthier. And so it's just nice. And now everything comes full circle. The person that allowed us, to some extent, in a weird way, the person that allowed us to become a better person is now saved. You know, the very first brother we made in space, and the only brother we've made in space, you know, being helped out by the person that was helped the most by, paradoxically, the invasion. Moreover, the requirements aren't that bad. The fights themselves, with 1 or 2 exceptions, aren't that bad, even though obviously we kind of ran through them for the sake of the stream. Let me put it this way. I've never been able to beat the Starforce 1 or Starforce 2 post-game as a... on the DS, back when I owned the games, or back when I pirated the games on the Nintendo DS. But I was able to beat Starforce 3 as a child. Not Crimson Dragon SP, but I did manage to get all the cards. As far as I was able to. I did manage to beat Sirius. I think that says a lot. That says a lot about the viability. Does that mean that everything about this is great? Absolutely not. The 500 battles, in my opinion, are just too much. Like, there's just too much in regards to the 500 battles that just begs you to essentially take, to not even skip it so much, but just to kind of get through it real quick. And that's a real shame. Because that's the only element that I think works against the game. Also, it's pretty clear that we did not get Rogue yet, so gonna need to deal with that in a moment. Thank you. We know that. We haven't beaten the full game yet. Because we haven't got to the congratulations. But well, thank you.
Mega Man Starforce 3, all complete.
Okay, technically it's considered a congratulations. Ooh, also very nice artwork. I actually own the artwork book, so that's always cool to see. Key item wallpaper. Let's go and save real fast.
Starforce 3, Black Ace.
The main question becomes, how do I unlock Rogue CZ? Oh wait, hang on. There's something going on here. What is this tweet? What is this tweet? Major change in Mega Man Starforce Legacy Collection. We've confirmed that in Starforce 3 you're no longer required the first 5 rows. Get a J and have a purpose card equipped. And this is a purpose card. Okay. AJ is now mandatory to fight him in the Legacy Collection. You are joking. Oh, that's mean. That's very mean. Hang on. No, it's not mean necessarily. It's just like, okay. Anyway, let's go then. Go out. Go to Mega Man. Hang on. Deeper part of controls you see in orbital base. Okay. Let me see here. Select access profile. Oh yeah, right. Oh, there we go. Rogue Noise is actually now available as data. There we go. We could have actually just... Never mind. The things that one sees. Oh, hang on, what's this? SS server? I'm gonna have to mess around with this. Secret Satella server. Ooh, never messed around with that. That's something for in my own time. Profile. Purpose. Okay, we can just pick one of these, I guess. Okay then. Also, hi Shada, how you doing? Yeah, that is the sound of someone that realized that he should not have gone through all of the things he did for Rogue Noise. There's one more achievement left. So, yeah, I hope you're having a good day. I will be honest, I'm not sure what I'm gonna be doing for the better part of the next minimum hour, given the fact that we're almost done. That will be a fun thing to realize. Let me see here. Sure, let's go for this. Purpose card has been answered successfully. you. If on team bots is real bots, you can share the okay, cool. Yeah, we need, well, not technically Rogue Noise, but he's the easiest to get. So we need to beat an Omega boss, which is a 1 in 64 chance, under very specific conditions. But the easier way is to get Rogue Noise, to get Rogue CZ done, because he technically counts as an Omega boss. So it's the final achievement as well. So in the end, we still needed to do all the things that we did, simply by nature of the fact that we still needed all the cards for the other achievements, but it's still, you know, I'm still kind of miffed. There we go. There he is. There's the little, there's our little dipshit. So don't worry about it. In the meantime, I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna be doing for the next. And this is by far the most difficult fight in the game under normal circumstances. But we're not playing under normal circumstances. Anyway, meet Rogue CZ, 4000 HP, and from what I've read online, utterly unfair. From what I've read online, he is, in the most honest sense of the word, utterly unfair as a boss. Of course, we're not playing fair, so... Exactly. Use the lemons indeed. Speaking of Rogue, the artist friend that I got some stuff for that was planned to be done by the start of the series is hopefully soon gonna be able to finally work on it, which all the more power to him. Like he's had a semester from hell. Like he's had a semester from hell. So fair play to him that he didn't want to anything to do with drawing. So we're just gonna do this. I should also mention this fight was not available in the Western release of the game. There we go, and there's two more legendary shooting star and obviously Omega Treasure, defeat an Omega boss. So, now what? Because we've hit a bit of a problem. Because if we go to the main menu... We've done it! That is technically, and I'm gonna go to non-gaming here to show what I'm talking about. That is technically 41 achievements unlocked. All 41 achievements for Mega Man Starforce Legacy Collection. A journey that began at the end of March has been completed. We are done. And we aren't even 2 hours into the stream yet. I was expecting to take longer for this final part. So, yeah, now what? Anyway, let me quickly go over every single one of them, which is, of course, Blast Off 1 and Among the Stars 1, 2, and 3. The Standard Collector, Mega Collector, Guy Collector we've gotten at some point. Surpassing the Sages, Escaping a Tragic Fate, Shining Through Darkness. Independent Warrior, the beginning of our love-hate relationship with Rogue. Wallpaper Collector, Legendary Weapon, Best Combo Creator. Legend Card Creator, Omega Treasure, last one we ever got. Noise collector. Stars align. Thank you very much for the reminder to hydrate. It is humid in here. Suit victory. Powered up. Secret attack. Also, how are you doing, Sapphire? Lucky star. Quick reflexes. Rare data. No hurt for hurts. High capacity. Wave of destruction. Star supporter. Friendly firepower. Close encounter. All you got. Make some noise. Stacked deck. Card connoisseur. Stuffed snowball. Player the cards right. Stage sweeper. And of course VIP access. Those are all the achievements in Starforce Legacy Collection. Over the course of 84 hours, we've collected every single one of them. Good lord. There's gonna be an ad break in 1 minute. I'm gonna think about what we're gonna do during the 1 minute after that. Because I have nothing. I mean, we could beat some of the viruses. We could see if we've maybe unlocked some stuff in the Meteor server. I guess that's something we could do. One moment. Yeah, thanks, Shana. Yeah, it's been about right. There we go. Welcome back. No, not yet. Welcome back, everyone. I thought that the ad has already begun. Oops, I was silent there for a moment. That's bad. That's bad streamanship. Yeah, I mean, I guess I might as well go to talk for a moment. You know what? After the ad break, let's talk about which achievement I found the most difficult to naturally get. And I don't know. I mean, on YouTube side, I could be ending it after that, but I'm kind of looking at what else I could be doing, but there isn't really... Like, we're gonna have 2 weeks at a minimum before we start Persona 4. I don't even have it installed yet at the moment. So, I don't know. Ad break, that's a thing. So yeah, I'm currently thinking, I might just sit here and vibe for a bit with the music, to be honest. Like, that's definitely a thing we can do. It's good music. There's nothing stopping us from vibing. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. So I have not found an answer to the question what we're gonna be doing next. Like, the joke answer to what are you gonna do next is play Final Fantasy XIV for an hour on stream, so we hit the 3-hour mark. No, let's, at the very least, if we're talking about what was the most difficult one to naturally get. So like, now that we're 85 hours, we've done it, we've beaten it, we've gotten all achievements. I definitely want to say that the most difficult one to sort of naturally do is Best Combo Creator. Because the requirements for it are vague enough. Like, the requirements are vague enough that you might not naturally even know what to do or how to even begin with getting that particular achievement. To be honest, the same goes with stuff like Rogue CZ and all that stuff, but there's a lot of experimentation that you can just do with that. As for, I mean, obviously there are a lot of easiest, but as for the one I had the most fun with is definitely quick reflexes. Like, performing 5 counters in a battle is a fun one to do because it just kind of requires you to be quick on your feet and just pick the right fight for it. What I also say is what I like as well is that some of these achievements, let me in the meantime just go ahead and just go into the game itself and just play around for a bit. What I also like about the what I also like is that some of the achievements are genuinely really annoying to get if you decide to just go for the full entire get-up route. Simply because, actually, this is a good moment for me to just kind of mess around with everything. SS server. So what does this allow? I'm so confused by what all of this is. Like, okay, I've unlocked the SS server, so what does this do in the meantime? But yeah, no, a lot of these achievements are just genuinely really difficult, because especially once you have enter the noise levels, it is really interesting how immediate.
Let's do this.
You're done. You're done.
How immediately
All according to plan.
the achievements become more difficult, because you often need to have to hit like very specific rogue noises. You need or noise levels. You need to hit particular events that you can only do when in noise form. You need to hit like very particular noise percentages. Like VIP access is another one that requires a lot of very like. Is another one that just kind of requires. Good lord. Sure, why not? There we go. But like VIP access to 500% requires you to pick your fights and have a deck that's almost purpose-built around it.
Let's do
So I'm
this.
just kind of fucking about here.
Wasn't even a contest.
So it's interesting how some of these achievements, same with best combo, which requires you to have, like, do it in very particular circumstances. So I find it interesting that despite the fact that the game is a lot easier to do,
Let's go all out.
like, despite the fact that the game gives you all these tools, the tools actually
Wasn't even a contest.
at times sort of get in the way of actually beating the game, which I think is an interesting accidental design choice. Like, there are definitely moments where it's like, okay, they pretty clearly want you to understand what it is that you're doing. I mean, in the meantime, I'm also just playing with the
Let's
whole
finish 'em
thing
off
because
quick.
I'm not sure.
We aced that.
Like, what the thing even is. I'm just gonna go do a couple of fights, see where we end up. Okay, I guess nothing. I don't know what the SS does. So in that case, let's go back to the idea that I had before. Also, brothers. Let me. Is it maybe that? Hang on. Is it maybe that you need to start at it? I am genuinely so confused. Like, oh, no worries, dude. Do enjoy. You also technically have access to. Let me just delete you. There you go. But yeah, you also have access to a server in Discord server that nobody uses, so don't worry about it. But yeah, do enjoy, dude. Like, to be honest, you guys sat through grinding over 100 fights. You know, like, there's a little, should be a little treat at the end of that. Don't worry, I know what you're talking about. But let's go and see if we've won any new goodies over in the Black Hole server. But yeah, hope you're having a solid day so far, dude. We're just kind of vibing at this point. We've gotten all achievements. We're vibing. We're just kind of faffing about, seeing what we have unlocked. And yeah, so, oh yeah, wait, there was a story I wanted to tell. So, there was a story I wanted to tell, which is in Infra, so the game that we're streaming on Sundays, I asked, why is it that the dam is actually in the middle of the first level, despite the fact that that's when the story kicks off? And it has to do with expectation setting. Because the dam has has like a speech in it that implies lots of foul play. And by putting it at the end, or so by putting it in the middle, the game establishes normality first. And what I mean by that is that because it takes about 20 minutes to get to that particular speech, the game sort of establishes this idea that it's gonna be just a normal game, you know, like you walk around, you talk about stuff, you do stuff, you just, you know, the world itself has a normal logic to it. And that allows the sort of like speech of, ooh, you know, from Hartman about the fact that, oh, Walter destroyed me, or like Walter, you know, Walter destroyed my company, to look out of place. Whether or not it is out of place is a question I won't answer, deliberately won't answer. That we will learn that later. But it establishes normality. And if by having the dam in the middle, it also allows you to ruminate on it. So if the dam had been at the very end, let's say that hypothetically the way that the first level of Infra is that you've got the power plant, you've got the lumberyard, and there you have the dam, and then you move into the tunnels. You don't have time to ruminate on it, because you get the Emil Hartman thing, and you immediately jump into the Bergman tunnels. You have no time to ruminate, because you immediately enter an area that's designed to be spookier, or sort of like has become spookier by accident through normal human nature. What the standard developers have done is you start off with 20 minutes of normality, which is the office and sort of like walking around, learning the ropes. Then you get the Emil Hartman voice message. Then you've got another 20 or so minutes to ruminate on it. Because after the dam is a power plant that tells you, hey, are you sure that what you did was a good thing? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, we don't know. And then you have the lumberyard. You find like a body at some point, maybe not, even that's optional. And so it allows your brain to sort of ruminate on what was said. Like, is it a conspiracy? Is it not a conspiracy? Ooh, Geiger class +1, nice. That's definitely a nice little reward for all Geiger cards. So it's interesting how the game, by adhering to, on one hand, just the way that these kinds of areas are designed, and also keeping in mind sort of like design sensibilities, allows the dam to become something weird. If they put the dam at the start, then Insanity would have been the main line. If it had been at the end, you wouldn't have been able to ruminate on it. Thank you. But by putting it in the middle, not only are you allowed to ruminate on the entire problem. Ooh, super armor. Oh dear. Oh, that's nice. Are you allowed to ruminate on the problem? But you also are aware of the fact that it is not normal. Like that, what is being said, this whole, oh, Walter destroyed my company stuff, is not the baseline of the world. The baseline has been established as down to earth. And I think that that's a cool thing. It's like, even if it's not necessarily deliberately designed that way, it still creates a certain anticipation for what's to come. Instead of now assuming that the entire world is full of conspiracies, it's okay, maybe he's got something, maybe he doesn't. And we won't know if he does until we finish the game. Maybe we will find something. Maybe it turns out that Walter really was out to get Bergman. Maybe it turns out it was all inside of his head. And I think that that's a cool thing about Infra. Anyway, yeah, like I said, we're mostly talking because... Yeah, now what? To be honest, I think I might just end it for today. Like, there is genuinely nothing else for us to do. We've gotten all of the achievements. There we go. There's all of our little friends. Take a look at other. You know what? No, let's actually go ahead and look at some other stuff. Before we do that, how about... Oh, wait, hang on. We've got new wallpaper, I believe. Oh, there we go. I think that that's the one. Yes, everyone's on the beach. Okay. How about we take a look at some artwork before we go? There are no any new demos, but and I happen to own. I should mention I happen to own the artwork book, but these are all new bits of artwork that were made specifically for the. So this is made specifically for the collection, which I think is nice. And we can also now show it now that we've seen that Kelvin has been saved. You know, Mega's in the background, and as someone that owns the artwork book, this is just so fun. This is, for me, this is a lot of fun to see. Because this over here has a couple of mechanical... So this is an artwork that is based on a short story between Battle Network and Starforce, where Geo has to pretend to be a middle schooler in order to not look out of place. You know, obviously we see Geo's telescope as well. A very clean room. I should probably take advice from Geo and clean my room at some point. But yeah, there is just so much beautiful artwork here. Obviously the anniversary edition artwork. It's like, I will be honest, I never imagined, if you had told me a year ago that, let me just go to some Starforce. Let me see. But if you had told me a year ago that Starforce would get its own legacy collection. Oh, there we go. He looks so good. There we go. There's my boy. There's my boy. But if you had told me a year ago that the legacy collection would exist, I wouldn't have believed you. Like, Starforce fans are sort of used to being even more than legends. We are sort of used to being... Let me see if I can actually find something to kind of put on the screen while I'm talking. To start being forgotten. Like, even within our own sub-series of Battle Network Starforce, 90% of the conversation is about Battle Network. Also, kind of something else I want to say. Like, for some reason, it also fills me with melancholy. This picture, because, you know, it's sort of like it's late evening. You know, like, this might be the last bit of artwork that is ever created for Starforce. And then I think it would be really sad if that was the case. But yeah, like, as Starforce fans, let me just go and put it on like this. We are just sort of used to just being forgotten. You know, ZX is the same on some level. Like, obviously, the OG Mega Man gets a lot of the praise. X is by far the most talked about. Even if you... There was actually a poll in the Mega Man Reddit that was very enlightening, and I don't think the community was aware of that, where they were like, okay, what is the next game you want to see? X9 was like the white winner by a vast majority. And that says more about the kind of people that go there than necessarily the sort of like whole of the community, because I can guarantee you the majority... Oh, whoops. The majority of people want, like, probably just Mega Man 12, to be honest. Like, one Mega Man 12, like, let's face it. And to be fair, we are getting that, but, like, they want just another normal Mega Man game. Like, but the X series is just so prevalent. in that regard. So, you know, like Legends is obviously talked about in regards to Legends 3, CX is forgotten just as much. You know, and Battle Network obviously sort of takes up all the oxygen in our particular side series. So as Starforce fans, we are forgotten about most of the time. So if you had told me a year ago, hey, Starforce will get its own Legacy Collection, it will be by far the best Legacy Collection out of a lot of them in regards to functions and abilities and like just additional things, I would not have believed you. I genuinely would not have. And yet here we are. 2nd of June, 2026. Fuck, man, I'm getting emotional over it. The thing is, with Starforce, is just about every person that finds Starforce to be their favorite series has a very personal connection with it. It's almost never that they find Starforce to be the best series because of the gameplay or because of the story. Those stories mentioned more often nowadays in the last few months. But 99% of the time, before the Legacy Collection came out, the people that raved about Starforce did so because of a personal connection. And that is something precious. And that's also why the Legacy Collection was so celebrated in the community. Because almost everyone that celebrated it because it was a special connection returning. A connection that they now no longer needed to pirate because it was never released in their region. Or because it's impossible these days to find the DS games. Like even on eBay, there are times where like nothing is available. And now it's no longer a problem. It's a bit like if there is a movie that has meant a lot to you. And for me personally, Starforce saved my life in the most literal way possible. When I was going through a deeply depressive episode, complete with the things that happen when you go through that. I remember... I'm gonna give you a content warning here right now because I'm gonna get very personal here for a moment. So I apologize for that, but let me put it this way. The reason I never went through with it, and this sounds really dumb, is because I didn't have my plushie with me, and I wanted to... I mean, just... you can imagine it. And afterwards, I played, for the first time, Starforce. And I felt so immensely seen by this game, by this series. And while not every single story will be as extreme as mine, as Starforce trying to give me the chance to, like, I was like, okay, if this character can go through it, then so can I. Like, it was the first steps on the road to recovery, where are often not only acknowledgement, but also of that you have a problem, but also that it can be fixed. I knew I was depressed. Like, you know, I didn't need to be told that, but what I didn't believe in at the time was the belief that I could be fixed. Like, I believed that I was broken, and that I was born broken, and that I would die broken, and that for however long I would be on this earth, I would be a broken husk of a man. And then this quirky little video game just drops in my lap through some means I've long since forgotten. And it shows that I can become better. It shows I can move on. It shows that I can not be depressed, or at least that there's a road out of this. There's a rope that I can create for myself that allows me to climb out of this hole that I have made for myself. And well, like I said, not every story is as extreme. Every story for people that were fans of Starforce had something personal in them. Almost every one of them had. Someone that was depressed, someone that had a hardship in life, and that Starforce was one of the first games, and we've talked about since with Starforce 1 and 2, one of the first games that felt like it took their problems seriously. And not in a kind of adult way, where it's like, okay, we're doing lots of adult things, we're doing lots of, you know, not in the kind of way where it's like, ah, here's blood and gore, we're gonna literally destroy your demons and it will look teenagey. But by taking the topic seriously, by tackling the topic in a very serious way, by essentially saying, I see you. It's okay to feel this way. But at some point, you need to start climbing out of it. So many people that have that particular version of that story. So this is a series that means more to me than any other series on the planet. Are there better games out there? Absolutely. Like one of my other favorite games, Fallout New Vegas, has a much better and more intricate story. Or not better, but a more intricate story. Like, you could say what you want about Starforce 2, but the only reason that it's now even workable is because you can change the encounter rate. So many people never got to see the end of Starforce 2 as a result of the encounter rate on the wave. So yeah, it's an entire new generation of people that have been introduced to a series that... If there is... Let me put it this way. If there is one series on the planet that I was allowed to remember, like let's say that hypothetically there was only one series, be that show or game or movie, that I was allowed to remember and every other one was gonna be taken away from me, then Starforce would be that series that I would remember. I have more hours into Final Fantasy XIV. I have more connection these days with something like Severance. But Starforce has become so fundamentally intertwined with who I am as a person that realizing that there is a period of my life before I knew Starforce while I was a gamer is something that often feels insane. Like, there are better games out there. There are better battle systems out there. Hello, Everly James. We sort of hit us at the very end. Because we're done. So we're just kind of doing some final talking about my overall experience on the series. But hope you're having a good day in either way. It's a bit of a shame, really, because YouTube is about to go dark for a few weeks. I'm not in any way, shape or form interested in adding random people to my Discord. But yeah, as I was saying, like as I was saying, I can't imagine a world where I don't know Starforce in any way, shape or form. There is not, to be honest, that's not a world I even want to live in. Like, ever. To be honest. That probably says a lot. I, for the longest time, identified with Rogue in a really bad way. Nowadays it's healthy, but yeah. So I am genuinely emotional, even now, after 23 streams, that this game exists, that this thing exists. And fucking hell. I don't think there will be ever another game or announcement that will ever make me emotional this way. Maybe Explorers, maybe Pokemon ever allows Explorers of Time to go onto Steam, but it never will. Nintendo is Nintendo, obviously. They've got a good thing going for themselves. So yeah. That obviously doesn't quite mean... I mean, to be fair, we are sort of at the end of the road. But before we go, let me at the very least tease the next series of streams. Like I said, Infra is happening every Sunday. It's happening every Sunday. Is gonna be Infra until we're done with that. Then we have Zero Time Dilemma. If you've never played Zero Time Dilemma before, it's gonna be a riot. You don't need to know anything about the other two games in the Zero Escape series. I will just say it's gonna be a riot. We're gonna have lots of fun. Next 2 weeks are gonna be free spaces, so it will be Twitch only. That's an important one. Free spaces are Twitch only. YouTube is only there for the full game streams, which is gonna be Persona 4 Golden once we start that around mid-June, mid to end of June. So I don't know what I will be streaming. I don't know when I will be streaming, apart from the fact that Sunday is obviously there. If you are not yet part of the Discord, please go ahead, become a part of it. I would like to say that's the best way to know when I go live. I also happen to have a Blue Sky account. There's also a socials thing. It's my pleasure, Shada. This is maybe the one series where it felt more appropriate than any other to do so. So there we go, let's snooze you. I don't know what I will be streaming next and when I will be streaming next. It's either gonna be earlier later this week or Sunday with Infra. I'm gonna leave you guys though with a teaser for the next game, the next full stream game that we are gonna be doing. Another very long one because we've streamed 2 Persona games. So I think it's time for the last one to be streamed. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.